Welcome to anyone who has just joined. Please note we have muted your microphones for the duration of the webinar. Hello everyone and welcome to our 6th live mobility webinar. Today our topic is relocating to Ghana and I'll mention the sections we'll be going through in just a moment. My name is Nausheena Hoosain and I've been a client account specialist at Relocation Africa since 2019. Prior to my role at Relocation Africa, I worked at the world-famous Walt Disney World Animal Kingdom Resort in Orlando, Florida, which was a major learning curve and helped me set my sights on pursuing a career in client services. I then returned to South Africa, where I was a client consultant for Delta Airlines, and thereafter I spent the majority of my working years in the corporate travel industry until I joined Relocation Africa. The format of this webinar will be as follows. I will talk through various sections which have accompanying slides. During this time, please feel free to type questions as you think of them into the message box. Rest assured, doing so will not create a disturbance. At the end of the webinar, I will endeavour to answer as many of your questions as possible. This webinar is being recorded and a link to the replay will be shared with all registrants later this week. Just a further reminder, please note we have muted everyone's microphones for the duration of this webinar. Today's topics will deal with housing, schooling, and settling in Accra, Ghana. We will cover topics including expat life, popular expat areas, average rental prices, leasing details, popular expat schools, and how utilities work. The Republic of Ghana is located along the Gulf of Guinea and is bordered by the Ivory Coast in the west, Burkina Faso in the north, Togo in the east, and the Gulf of Guinea and Atlantic Ocean in the south. Ghana means warrior king in the Sanatu language. Climate. The climate of Ghana is tropical. The eastern coastal belt is warm and comparatively dry. The southwest corner of Ghana is hot and humid, and the north of Ghana is hot and dry. Average daily temperatures range from 30 degrees Celsius, which is about 86 degrees Fahrenheit during the day, to 24 degrees Celsius, and that's about 75 degrees Fahrenheit at night, with a relative humidity between 77% and 85%. Accommodation. While it is not always easy to find an abundance of property, those moving to Ghana will find that there are a variety of housing options available to them, from large family homes with gardens, luxury apartments in modern complexes. Many foreigners moving to Ghana only work on short-term contracts, so fully furnished accommodation tends to be the most suitable option. Fortunately, many apartments come furnished in Ghana, but houses may be unfurnished in some instances. Furniture can be sourced easily and cheaply through local suppliers. As most expats do not remain in Ghana for more than a few years, it may be pointless to have goods shipped into the country from home. The biggest problem is lack of housing stock, especially in popular expat areas. Those who find a suitable property will need to act fast to secure it. Looking at schooling, due to the large expat community in Accra, private international schools that are modeled on the education systems in other countries have emerged. Most of these schools teach the American, British, or international curriculum. There are also French and German schools. The academic year generally starts in August and ends in June. The first semester is from August to December. Then there's a break in mid-December and it resumes in early January. The second semester is from January to June and they break from mid-June to mid-August. Healthcare. Ghana has a universal healthcare system strictly designated for Ghanaian nationals. Healthcare is very variable through Ghana. Urban centers are well served and contain most hospitals, clinics, and pharmacies in the country. Rural areas often have no modern healthcare. Patients in these areas either rely on traditional African medicine or travel great distances for healthcare. It is advisable to check immunizations required with your GP. The shops. Main shopping malls in Accra are Accra Mall, the Junction Mall, the Akimoto Mall, and the West Hills Mall. The biggest is the West Hills Mall, but it's far from the expat preferred residential areas. The most patronized is the Accra Mall, which tends to serve the expat community due to its proximity. The Osa Mall is as good as Accra Mall and also patronized by the expat community. There is the Marina Mall as well. This is located in the center of Airport City. And then brushing on the culture, there are over 100 ethnic groups living in Ghana. The largest are Akan, Marshidagani, Ewe, and Ga. The Ashanti tribe of the Akan are the largest tribe and one of the few societies in West Africa where lineage is traced through the mother and maternal ancestors. Once famous for the luxury and wealth of the rulers, they are now more well known for their craftwork such as hand-carved stools, fertility dolls, and Kent cloth. Kent cloth is made with cotton and is woven in bright, narrow strips with complex patterns. Hospitality. Hospitality is generally associated with the generous and friendly reception and entertainment of guests, visitors, or strangers, and it has come to be associated with words with like helpfulness, neighborliness, warmth, kindness, generosity, amongst others. When looking at greetings to nationals in Ghana, handshakes are the most common means of greeting. It's generally common to wait for a woman to extend her hand first. Take time to inquire about people's health, family, and jobs. To rush a greeting is extremely rude. Maintain eye contact during the greeting. Titles are important. Use the honorific title plus any academic or professional title and the surname. Wait until invited before moving to a first name basis. The younger generation will tend to do so rapidly. Business cards are exchanged without formal ritual. Present and receive business cards with two hands or the right hand, never with the left. Taking a look at money aspect in Ghana. The Ghana cedi is the unit of currency. The US dollar is widely accepted in main cities and tourist areas. Many international banks are represented in Ghana. ATMs are commonplace in the cities but are harder to find in more rural locations. Ghana is a predominantly cash-based economy, and due to the prevalence of credit card fraud, it is unwise to use cards too liberally. Transportation. Transport in Ghana is accomplished by road, rail, air, and water. Ghana's transportation and communications networks are centered in the southern regions, especially the areas in which gold, cocoa, and timber are produced. The northern and central areas are connected through a major road system. Increased transport investment helps to increase the number of new vehicle registrations, and transportation alternatives include rail, road, ferry, marine, and air. Safety. Most visits to Ghana are trouble-free, but criminal activity does occur, and that can be expected in many places throughout the world. This can range from incidents of petty crime to opportunistic crime to violent crimes such as robbery, burglary, and serious assault. That can include the use of weapons. Please take sensible precautions. Avoid carrying large sums of money or valuables. Use a hotel safe whenever possible. and be particularly vigilant when withdrawing cash from ATMs. There has been an increase in street and petty crime, like pickpocketing, bag snatching, and opportunistic theft on certain roads in Accra. If you're visiting Accra, you should be vigilant, particularly at night. Avoid traveling alone, and where possible, try not to walk to and from destinations. There have been cases of violent robberies involving foreign nationals who have been attacked and robbed at gunpoint. Let's have a look at the popular expat areas. The following are all popular expat areas. These are about 2 to 7 kilometers from the central business district. I'm going to show you a map so that we could visualize this. East Legon. This is one of the most popular areas in Accra that has a huge expat community. Here you'll find international schools such as the British International, American International, and French International. There's also a small shopping center here and plenty of leisure facilities. This area, in my opinion, has a good expat community feel to it. It has its lively areas that boast of many international restaurants and bars. It is about 5.4 kilometers from the airport and about 6.5 kilometers to the closest CBD. Looking at cantonments. Cantonments is a very nice picturesque area. It is a quiet area but close to town. Here you will find the American Embassy as well as the Ghana International School. This is another area with a huge expat community. Although the area is quiet, but it's not far from the hustle and bustle of town, this area is also quite close to the beach. It's approximately 4.5 kilometers from the international airport and about 4.9 kilometers from Accra Mall and 3.7 kilometers to the closest CBD. Looking at airport residential. Airport residential is probably the pricier place to live in Accra. It is also a suburb close to the airport, but not too far from the center of town. This also has a huge expat community. Here you will find international schools, such as the American International School. There are also many supermarkets here where you can find imported food and products and many high-end eateries. It is about 2 kilometers from the international airport and roughly 4.5 kilometers to the closest CBD. Then looking at the Ridge residency. Unlike the airport and cantonments, this area is a bit far from the airport and the major shopping malls. It is very close to the CBD and the ministries and government offices. It is mostly populated by ambassadors and top international managers of some major organizations. This area is more serene and has a lot of trees with good roadworks as airport residential. Let's go back and have a look at housing. So at Relocation Africa, we do ensure that we are always up to date and we carry out biannual housing surveys in all our destination cities to keep up to date with current trends. Our latest for Ghana reflects the tables seen in this slide for both furnished and unfurnished properties. Prices reflect in USD per month. Please note, rentals can be negotiated in USD, but payment has to be made in Ghanaian cedi. This is a legal requirement, which the directive that has been issued by the Bank of Ghana in 2019. So, for example, if we were to look at a 2-bedroom furnished apartment, these are between 18,900 Ghanaian cedi to about 24,300 Ghanaian cedi. This is roughly about $3,500 US to $4,500 US a month. 1-bedroom apartments are very few and not particularly popular with expats. Most apartment complexes are 2 and 3 bedroom houses, while 4 bedroom houses and 5 bedroom houses are few and far between. Most houses come furnished. A few larger houses could be unfurnished, but furniture can be sourced easily and cheaply through local suppliers. Most expats find suitable properties quite easily. It all depends on budget, location, size, and personal preference. Most rental payments are required in advance for the full lease periods. I'm now going to take a look at leasing details and requirements in Accra, mainly focusing on fees right now. So there is an agent or broker's fee, which is generally 1 month rent that's payable by the lessee. The rental payment is generally required in full in advance. When looking at a deposit, we could look at about 1 to 2 months rental depending on the landlord. A withholding tax does apply, so the landlord pays 8% of the total rent paid for the period specified. A diplomatic clause as well as early termination is accepted by most landlords. This is usually 3 months' notice by either party. Then the agent or broker pays 8% of the total commission charged. There is a property tax, or the city authority works this out for the landlord. It's not fixed and payable, and it is payable by the lessor. Some properties do not include taxes in their quotations. However, the withholding tax may reflect on the final payment. Leases are in the English language and can be a corporate lease in the name of the employer or a personal lease in the name of the employee. VAT. Rent is not taxable, neither is rented furniture. Landlords pay 5% VAT on service charges. The service charge deposits are applicable in every lease and are separate from the rental amount. In few cases, it is included in the rental amount. It is important to check on this during the lease negotiation. Utilities are generally not included in the rental, and as far as white goods are concerned, they are normally not supplied. The property tax is payable by the landlord. This is just a reminder that if there is anyone out there that has any questions based on what I have discussed up until this point, please feel free to type them to me in the chat box so that I can address them at the end of the webinar. Expat children generally attend private or international schools. We're going to pop back onto our map again. Just have a look whilst reviewing these. Popular expat areas to reside in are between 1 to 3 kilometers from the schools. It is important to note that the time to travel may be impacted by choice of access routes and traffic jams. One can never anticipate effectively the duration of time it will be dependent on the cause of the traffic jam. I think that is an issue with all of us in today's day and age, no matter where we are. Traffic jams are common, especially during peak hours, which is about 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning and 4:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. at night. A large number of schools follow the British curriculum. So that would be the Ghana International School in Cantonment, the British International School in East Legon, the Galaxy International School. This school has 2 campuses, a preschool and primary section located at East Legon and secondary school located at Adrenaline or in Accra. There's the Roman Bridge School, as well as the Al Rayyan International, that's in Accra Central. Schools that follow the American curriculum are the American International School in East Legon, as well as the Lincoln Community School. And last not least, there's the French School. So excuse my my pronunciation. My French is not that great, but it's the Jacques Privé. And then there's also the Dutch school in central Accra. Gaining admissions to these schools will vary and some waitlists may be in place. Most school applications can be submitted online and there may be tests and interviews required. School fees will also vary depending on the year the child is to be enrolled for. Most school fees are payable in CD, but American and French schools will also accept USD or euros. On top of the basic school fees, expat parents will need to budget for extra expenses such as textbooks, school uniforms, and field trips. As mentioned before, most school years run from August to June. Moving away from schools, let's have a look at utilities. Depending on the individual, both water and electricity can be between 500 to 1,000 CD a month. But in a situation whereby the air conditioner is used for 24 hours, it may go up to about 1,500 CD. Electricity is more stable now than ever in the history of the country. That is quite surprising and very impressive. A lot has been invested in the power sector. Most places have a standby generator, but they hardly need to be used due to the power stability over the past 3 to 4 years. The National Electricity Company in Ghana is the Electricity Company of Ghana, or the ECG. Electricity is billed per meter, consumption per kilowatt, and on a sliding scale. There is a base rate, and thereafter, the higher the consumption, the higher the cost per kilowatt an hour. I see that I do have a question that has popped up from Deborah. Are there any specific areas by retirees, namely those who desire a more serene environment? I would like to refer back to our local consultant in Ghana. Although the more serene area is the Reach residency, but I will email you after the webinar as well to confirm this. Going back to our webinar, looking at water. The Ghana Water Company supplies water to most homes in Accra. The Ghana Water Company are not efficient at taking meter readings and often estimate charges or bill the standard charge for the meter and play catch up and bill the outstanding amounts a few months later for the amount consumed. Waste. The main waste disposal company in Ghana is Zoom Lion, who is a private company. There is a charge for the disposal of normal household waste and domestic sewer and sanitation. Zoom Lion will give you a booklet to monitor your waste collection and payment each time waste is collected. The vast majority subscribes to private refuse companies. If you live in a standalone home, you will generally need to contract out with one of these private refuse companies. These companies will usually collect once or twice a week and provide a wheelie bin. Any additional bins that are required would incur an additional charge. Looking at gas, there is no municipal main gas supplied in Ghana. Gas installations for cookers or fireplaces and barbecues typically operate on outdoor gas tanks, and these need to be purchased by the tenants. Replacement tanks can be purchased at most filling stations and hardware stores. All installations should be serviced annually at the tenant's cost. Let's move on to the internet and telephone. There are a number of providers of phone and internet service in Ghana. However, privately owned Vodafone remains the country's main fixed line operator. There are 6 main cell phone providers in Ghana, which are MTN, Vodafone, Tigo, Glo, Airtel, and Expresso Telecom. The cell phone providers provide competitive package deals which can either include or exclude the actual phone. Your selected service provider can include a Wi-Fi modem, typically if you sign a monthly rolling contract. Alternatively, you can purchase a MiFi, which is mobile internet, and top up data as you go. Ghana does not have established fixed line such as ADSL or fiber as yet, and accessing the internet via mobile is quite popular. Television. There are many large broadcasting corporations. The content is mostly of local interest and in addition to English broadcasted in Twi and other indigenous languages. Most expats therefore choose to subscribe to satellite TV, the most popular being MultiChoice's DSTV. If you want more information on this, you can have a look at www.dstv.com, which offers a relatively wide range of options at a monthly fee for a premium bouquet, which provides quite good international coverage, especially news and sport. Setting up DSTV typically requires the purchase of a decoder and opening an account with MultiChoice, unless this is included in your monthly rental and typically only for fully furnished properties. You will be required to present yourself in person to one of the outlets, or you can call to arrange for installation. Payment will be made to the DSTV rep once installation is complete. And then streaming services such as the ever popular Netflix and Showmax are also available in Ghana as good alternatives. We're going to move a little forward now and look at local registrations. No local registrations are required in Ghana. For security purposes and at the discretion of the expats, registration can be made at the home embassy. Registering for tax can be completed online. Expats don't need to register for Social Security or local equivalent. When it comes to bank accounts, there's a few things that is required to set up a bank account. So first and foremost, complete an application form. Make sure you have your original identification papers, as well as 2 passport photos, your physical passport, copy of your work permit or your resident permit, your PIN number, which is your registered tax number, as well as a proof of residence and a fixed deposit. Bank accounts or credit cards cannot be applied for online. Having a look at driver's licenses, despite being a British colony previously, Ghanaians drive on the right-hand side of the road. For expats driving in Ghana, it can be very daunting as roads outside the major cities are not well maintained. However, main roads in major cities are paved and well maintained. The minimum age for driving a car in Ghana is 18 years old. Expats are allowed to use their foreign driver's license that are valid for 1 year, so long as they have a valid international driver's permit. However, it is recommended to apply for Ghanaian driver's license after arrival if you plan on driving and staying for longer than a year. Obtaining a driver's license is quite straightforward. These are the requirements in order to apply. You'd need a valid international driver's license. Applicant must be cleared of any bad driving record. And then you'll need 4 colored passport size photographs. As we are now reaching the end of the webinar, I will shortly be answering any questions you may have. If you have yet to ask something, please type a question to me now, and I will address each individually. I am hoping we have covered a wide selection of information relating to relocating to Ghana and Accra in particular. For some questions which may require further detailed information, I will be happy to refer to our local consultant. Our expat on the ground in Accra, who also assisted in making sure that the information provided in this webinar is up to date. Thank you so much, Felix. We will then provide feedback to you after the presentation. So, Deborah, going back, to your question, I am going to get back to you regarding which areas are preferred, although brushing up that the Ridge residency is quite a serene area to reside in. But I will give you advice from the experts as well. Thank you again for joining us today. Our next upcoming webinar will be focusing on relocation departure services, and we will be sending out invitations to that early in March. Within the next week, a recording of this webinar will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, and you will receive a direct link to the recording. Please feel free to share this with any of your colleagues who could not attend today. Likewise, if you can think of any colleagues who might enjoy future webinars from us, please do let them know they are welcome to request by signing up and emailing us via marketing@relocationafrica.com. I wish you guys a great remainder for the week ahead. Thank you so much for joining me today. Goodbye.